Hi, and welcome to another Average Joe Hockey Report. Yeah, this jersey is from a team called Armed and Hammered. So like you see the arm, whatever, and then you see the battle of alcohol, whatever. So that's the that's the logic behind Armed and Hammered or whatever. Okay. All right. So in this video, we've already gone through the five teams with off seasons that have impressed me. Now we're gonna go with the five teams with off seasons of uncertainty, which means I'm not entirely sure if I like where they're going or not or whatever. So for my number five, I'm gonna go with the Philadelphia Flyers. Um, I mean, yeah, sure. Now there's a few moves that I didn't mind them doing. They got rid of Shane Gostisbehere. They traded um, Jakub Voracek in return for Cam Atkinson, which is a lesser contract. Those are good moves, but it's more or less on the defensive side of things. Rasmus Ristolainen, if you look at him, his statistics have just been trending downwards, especially like advanced stats or whatnot. Just his value's just been absolutely terrible, and I don't. I know you guys might think, well, this is a good chance for him to rebound in Philly. Not with that coaching staff. I don't think Ristolainen and Alain Vigneault, for example, I don't think that's a good mix. Same with Keith Yandel. I don't think him and Vigneault are a good mix either. So I mean, I like a few of the few moves the Flyers made, but I thought the Flyers should have done a change at coaching staff because I don't think I like some of the players mixed with the coaching staff that they have right now. So, anyways, yeah, Flyers number five. Number four, I'm gonna go with Montreal Canadiens at number four. Montreal for next season back in the Atlantic Division, which means they needed to they needed to make a bang in the off season because uh, who knows if they're gonna make the playoffs with their current roster. And while I get it that like players like maybe Dougie Hamilton and Seth Jones probably didn't want to end up in Montreal, so they didn't really have options or whatever for trying to get an upgrade on defense. But in the end, let's just say this: David Savard, if you want to say it, not a replacement for Shea Weber. I know his health's better, his mobility's probably better, but he's not going to replace what Shea Weber brings to the team. As a matter of fact, I think I see this move only working well if if they feel Alexander Romanov is going to be paired with him on the second D pairing. That's the only way I see this working. Otherwise, and then with their other moves, I don't mind the Mike Hoffman move, even though he's a defensive liability. But I don't know. I just with Montreal, I don't know if they've done enough. And I could, if they go back to the wild card formula or whatever, or if they go top four, I could see Toronto, Boston. I could maybe see Toronto, Boston, uh, Tampa Bay, and then maybe Florida leapfrog them. I don't know. I just don't know about Montreal's offseason. I don't know if they've done enough to be able to make the playoffs. We'll see though. Um, so for my number three, I've got New York Islanders. Yes, New York Islanders. New York Islanders. I get it. You're trying to shed some cap space, so you let Jordan Eberle go get selected by the Seattle Kraken. You didn't protect him, whatever. You traded away Nick Leddy. I get it. However, in the end, it's like I look at this team. I think they'll still be able to somewhat compete, but that blue line is like okay. So I like Ryan Pollock and Adam Pellick, but what's the second D pairing is what? Scott Mayfield and Noah Dobson. I like Noah Dobson. Don't get me wrong, but I don't know if Noah Dobson's going to make that push in his second full season in the NHL. And Mayfield, I like Mayfield, but he's more of a, two-way defenseman. Maybe he gets you 15, 20 points max or whatever. So I definitely think that the defense of the New York Islanders downgrades a bit. Okay? At number 3. Oh, wait. Sorry, I had the Islanders at number 3. At number 2, I'm going to say Vegas Golden Knights. It seems like Vegas Golden Knights, they get rid of a contract and then they bring in a big contract or whatever. I don't know. So I get it. They traded Marc-Andre Fleury away. He was only had 1 season left at $7 million. So they went with Robin Lehner as their main goalie. They got Laurent Brossoit as their backup. I like that move. But I just feel like, this team doesn't necessarily get any younger, for one. And two, they needed to address what they needed was a second line center, because Chandler Stevenson is not a second line center. How they addressed it was in Nolan Patrick. Look, I don't mind Nolan. I think Nolan Patrick's going to be good. Problem is, this is a team that needs to win now. And you expect Nolan Patrick to make the jump now, like to break out anytime soon. Bit risky. Just saying. I think it's just a bit of a risk. That's all. And so my number 1 team for teams with off seasons with uncertainty is the Boston Bruins. The Boston Bruins, as it is, they lose Jeremy Lauzon to the Seattle Kraken in the expansion draft. Then, okay, I get it. I fully understand them not wanting to re-sign David Krejci, who's getting up there and hampered by injuries, and I know it was frustrating to have him, whatever. However, here's what I don't like, okay? Your replacement for David Krejci is Nick Foligno? I mean, Foligno is not much younger than Krejci, if he is, for one, and didn't really do too well in the Leafs. The only memorable moment he had with the Leafs was fighting, Corey Perry in the playoffs. Even though the John Tavares accident was a huge freak accident on Corey Perry's part, but they fought anyway. So yeah, I don't know about Foligno, your second line center. And here's another thing I don't like. So you decide not to bring back Tuukka Rask, and you replace him with Linus Ullmark. Now, I like Linus Ullmark. Problem is, Linus Ullmark, I feel, is a downgrade from Tuukka Rask. I would have been okay with, maybe 1 or 2 more years of Tuukka Rask until either Jeremy Swayman or Dan Vladar was ready. Which, speaking of Vladar, they decided to trade him to the Flames. I guess they feel Swayman's better. We'll see. I don't know. So, don't get me wrong with Boston. I think they'll still be able to compete. I don't mind them bringing Mike Riley back. I don't mind them re-signing Brandon Carlo and Taylor Hall. I just feel like they've downgraded in certain areas, which is why I say that I pick Boston as my number 1 team for some uncertainty regarding to their offseason. And to add to it, Boston only has just barely over $1 million in cap space. This video is based on opinion and may have no implication on how teams do during the season. This is just me, more or less me voicing my opinion about their off seasons. So remember, if I'm wrong, don't belittle me, educate me. Take care, everyone, and follow my Instagram account, Average Joe Hockey Report, my YouTube channel, Marty Tommy, Average in parentheses, Average Joe Hockey Report.